Hey everybody, today we're going to be learning how to do hand flips. It's one of the basic movements of contact juggling. But before we get started, we're going to need a pair of hands and a sphere, preferably an orange one. To keep hand flips simple, I've broken it down into 3 simple steps. So, the first step for hand flips is tossing and catching the sphere. Sounds simple, because it is. First, you toss and catch the sphere in the palm of your hand. Try not to grab the ball. It destroys the illusion when you do. So, you go from tossing and catching the ball now to following it all the way through, top to bottom. It's very important that you're still tossing the ball. If you're not, you lose all the benefits of doing this exercise, because you'll simply just be lifting the ball up and lifting the ball down. So, if you have any problems with this, just remember, toss and catch, and follow. If you need something to visualize it like tossing a delicate object, like an egg, or maybe your newborn son. Before we move on to step 2, we need to learn the cradle. The cradle is a simple move which allows us to balance the ball on the back of our hand. It's very simple, and all we have to do is actually lower one finger to make it work. So, to do the cradle, you want your palm down and your hand flat. And what you want to do is take your middle finger and dip it down gently, like you're going to press a key on a keyboard or on a piano. Then, once you have that finger down, you'll notice that you'll have a trough, and you simply put the sphere on top of that trough. What's happening is that the sphere is actually resting against the knuckle, the ring finger, and the index finger for 3 points of balance. That's how you do the cradle. Now that we've learned the cradle, step 2 is exactly like step 1, except with the back of the hand. You put the sphere on the back of the hand, toss and catch from belly button to about eye level. The only difference is that with the back of the hand, we don't have the balance that we had like we did with the palm. So a couple of pro tips when you're first learning is, give it small tosses and give it a lot of cushion. And use your knees if you have to. The more cushion you give it, the more time you have to catch it. So, just like with step 1, after we learn how to toss and catch the sphere on the back of the hand, we're going to toss and catch the sphere while our hand is connected to it. Step 3 is basically step 1 and step 2 alternating. What that means is that we're going to start on the back of the hand like we did in step 2 and end in the palm of the hand in step 1. Or we're going to start in the palm of the hand like we did in step 1 and end on the back of the hand in step 2. Trust me, it makes more sense when you do it rather than trying to explain it. So, start off in the back of the hand, and we're going to go from the back of the hand to the palm of the hand without letting the sphere leave our hand just like we practiced, by having it roll over the index finger. So, give it a toss, and when you come down to catch it, turn underneath, and then have it fall into the palm. It'll look like this. Toss, catch. Toss, and a catch. Now, that's one half of the equation. The other half is getting from the palm to the back of the hand, which is yet again another simple toss and catch, starting from a toss from the palm, and a catch with the back of the hand. And it'll look like this. Or like this. And so, what you can do with this toss and catch, alternating between the two, is that you now can roll over the 3 points of your hand. You have the index finger, the pinky, and the fingertips. And the only one that we really have to worry about is the fingertips. Because around the pinky is still a simple toss and catch, but instead of going underneath it, we come up and around the sphere, both ways. So around the pinky will look like this. With over the fingertips, we actually don't want to go directly over the fingertips. What we actually do is gently spread our index and our middle finger, or our middle finger and our ring finger, which will end up having the sphere look like this as it goes over. These are all the same tosses and catches. For example, we'll do over the fingertips as you commonly see it. So, apply this to any of the moves that I've shown you, and you should be able to contact juggle. Here's the breakdown, is that now that we have the toss and the catch, and that we understand that we can go around the pinky, over the index finger, and over the fingertips, we can basically move any direction that we want in the sphere as long as we know how to toss it in that direction. For example, instead of just going straight up and down with my over the fingertips, I can toss it side to side, inside and outside of my body. Alright? I can narrow it down to where it looks more side to side, but still, I am tossing and I am catching. Okay? A very common one that you see is the infinity pattern, or figure 8, where you're simply tossing and catching, dipping, tossing and catching, and dipping. This is where contact juggling can now become your own art. You now have control over where the sphere can go, giving yourself full arm extensions, or keeping it nice and tight, giving it little hops. So, remember this. If you learn this with one hand, remember to learn it with the other one. It's very important that you can do it with both sides, because the next video I do, I'll be showing all the modes on how to do transfers, which will be a lot of fun. So, take this, do what you want with it. I suggest listening to music and finding out your own patterns.